Could we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Beagle,
I'm here tonight.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present.
Councilmember Behrman,
Present.
Councilmember Gotchel,
Here.
Councilmember Grunland Fox is excused, Councilmember Sharp,
Present.
Councilmember Smiley,
Here.
quorum present.
Very good. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight, City Manager?
Mayor, I have no changes nor additions.
Any from the dais? All right, brings us to the first item of business tonight, and that's a presentation, two proclamations for two Eagle Scouts. All right. Over here. Okay. All right, we're here tonight to honor two Boy Scouts who have earned their Eagle Scout, fulfilled their Eagle Scout requirements and Eagle Scouts. So I'll read the first one. Whereas Boy Scout Carlos Eduardo Gonzalez from Troop 179 was recently recognized by the Boy Scouts of America for successfully completing all requirements for Scouting's highest rank, and whereas the mayor and city council members of the city of Wixom recognize the faithful and steady path taken obtaining the risk of Eagle Scout within a scouting organization, and whereas Carlos Eduardo Gonzalez graduated from Wall Lake Western High School class of 2021 with honors, summa cum laude, with a 4.2 GPA, where he was awarded the Outstanding Senior Award, also known as the Principal's Award. And whereas the rank of Eagle Scout is an honor earned only by a small percentage of youth involved in the organization. And whereas throughout his 10 years as a Boy Scout, Carlo Eduardo Gonzalez earned the Arrow of Light Award, developed a training program for quartermasters that could be used during COVID restrictions, earned the Outstanding Quartermaster Award, and performed over 70 service hours in the community. And whereas his Eagle Scout project, Carlos Eduardo Gonzalez chose to develop an app for relatives of veterans at the Oakland Hill Memorial Cemetery, so relatives from out of state could easily find the graves of their loved ones and cleaned up the graves prior to Memorial Day. Now, therefore, the mayor and council of the city of Wixom hereby recognize and commend Carlos Eduardo Gonzalez for his achievement in the rank of Eagle Scout.
So, hello, my name is Carlos Gonzalez, and on May 22nd, I led a group of 7 scouts, and what we did was we went to the Oakland Hills Memorial Cemetery. What we did there was our plan was to clean up and to pick up any trash, any leaves that were found near the cemetery, so that way when the families went to visit their loved ones on Memorial Day, they would find, that it was all clean. And we did it using this app where it would tell them exactly where their loved ones were buried, so that way they didn't have to spend any hours having to scour around or wasting any time, and they could go there and pay their respects and do it quickly and efficiently. So that's what I did.
Any questions, comments? Councilmember Smiley.
Real quick, could you just give a quick explanation what the Arrow of Light is?
Yeah, of course. So the Arrow of Light is an award that a scout gets, and usually it's when they pass on from Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts. So it means, a new transition.
A couple little things. First of all, very well done, young man. It's no small task to be an Eagle Scout.
Thank
and then big part of it is as a parent or guardian. Are they here? They want to just give a little.
Yeah.
I see a man with a camera out there. So. Got a fine young man, sir. Well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. And next up, we have Aiden. Come on up. 13-year-old Aiden Zambalku is currently a Life Scout and will be entering the 9th grade at International Academy of West. He plans to become an Eagle Scout by the end of 2021. And whereas Wixom resident Aiden Zambalku chose to wash, scrub, and spray paint the 13 decorative bikes placed around downtown Wixom as his Eagle Scout project. These bikes were placed by the Wixom Downtown Development Authority, the DDA, as part of a promotion for the Michigan Airline Trail when it was built. He placed live flowers in the baskets of the bikes for the summer and watered them weekly. And whereas scouting for both boys and girls have been an integral part of our community as well as a positive influence for many years, we note that the Boy Scouts of America are celebrating their 111th anniversary this year in the United States of America. And whereas throughout his 7.5 years in Scouts, Aiden Zambalku earned 27 merit badges, including 13 required for Eagle Scout, and has 87 hours of volunteer work, almost 50 on his Eagle project. Now, therefore, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Wixom hereby recognize Aiden Zambalku for his hard work with the decorative bikes in downtown Wixom and commend him on his commitment to earning his Eagle Scout promotion and wish him the best of luck in this endeavor.
Hello, I'm Aiden Zambalku. My Eagle project was to clean and repaint the 13 bikes located around Wixom as part of the Michigan Airline Trail. I've noticed that they've been in bad condition over the years, and I thought it'd be a nice way to serve or give back to the community by touching them up.
Nice, well done.
Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to commend both of you boys. This is quite an honor, and again, very, very few people achieve this. And as an employer, it is something that I have and continue to look for on a resume when I look at prospective candidates. So, great job and congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Can you scoot in, sir?
Sure.
Congratulations to both those young men. These are the highlights of my being the mayorship, is being able to present these proclamations and stuff to the Eagle Scouts, and it's well deserved. And so now we'll move on to approval of minutes. We have two sets of minutes to approve tonight. The first is the regular city council meeting of August 10th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any questions? Comments? I got a motion and a second to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of August 10th, 2021. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The second one is the regular city council meeting of August 10th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Any additions, comments? Seeing
Mr. Mayor, I thought we approved the first one was the regular. Did I mishear that?
Special.
Special? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I have a motion and a second to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of August 10th, 2021. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have one item of correspondence tonight, is a notice of hearing for the electric customers of DTE Electric Company, case number U-21010. Next up, first call to the public. The rules for the call to the public are as follows. The public shall address the council during the call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence, and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reasoning for addressing the council. And all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public? First call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close the first call to the public and move on to city manager reports, the departmental monthly reports of July 2021. Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick?
I have one question on the water report. Is somebody here from Suez?
Please.
Oh. I read regarding the phosphorus in the effluent, the increase, and the notice sent to Tri-Bar in July.
Yes.
About doing some pre-treatment. Any resolution over the month?
None at this point. They are working on getting their GAC system installed. They're working with their chemical suppliers to implement a different composition of the chemicals that they use in the process. And they have also started another investigation into using a polymer system, and they're actually working with that right now to see if they can make any changes in the effluent.
So is that a change in process that they've made recently that this phosphorus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, on our recommendation, well, one of the companies they reached out was a company that we'd been talking to as well, and we recommended them. They're working with, it's a company called NEO.
So more to come on that in the
Yes, sir.
coming months. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mayor, I was looking to supplement the departmental reports with an address from our Public Safety Director, Ron Moore, about something, if you could indulge that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, members of the public, Madam Clerk, and city staff. I'd like to take just a moment to tell you about a dear friend of mine. My name is Ron Moore, and I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Wixom. I lost a friend of mine over the weekend. His name was Douglas Robert Fiedler. And Doug Fiedler was a reserve police officer for the City of Wixom for over 25 years. If you're not familiar with what a reserve police officer does, for the City of Wixom in particular, a reserve police officer was a volunteer police officer, which meant for 25 years, my friend Doug would come to the police station several times a month, put on a uniform, put on the equipment that we provided him, and he would ride with a full-time certified and licensed police officer. Doug did this for over 25 years. In the initial onset of the reserve program, he did it for minimum wage. Later in the program, he did it for no pay at all. Doug rode shotgun with a police officer on countless calls for service and countless traffic stops. Doug Fiedler was the kindest, gentlest, and most humble person I've ever met in my life. Doug was the only reserve police officer we had who did not have to call ahead to make an appointment to ride with a police officer, because we all wanted to take him, and we all wanted him to ride with us because he was such a great man and so much fun to be around. In 2009, after Doug had served the city for 20 years, Doug started as one of the very first 4 reserve officers in 1989. So in 2009, at his 20-year anniversary with the city, we threw a party for him. Made a big fuss over Doug because he deserved it. And at that party, I gave some prepared remarks that night. And a portion of my remarks went like this. Research supports the fact that an aggressive or hostile person will think twice before carrying out an act of violence when 2 police officers are present as opposed to just 1. We will never know how many disturbances, fights, and assaults on police officers Doug Fiedler prevented by simply being there. I'm going to miss Doug. He was a dear friend. Doug Fiedler is synonymous with the Wixom Police Department, and I thank him for his service and his friendship. And as I said in the email I put out to staff and to mayor and council, God bless you, Dougie Fresh. And that's what we called him, Dougie Fresh. Mayor, thank you for the time to honor my friend and this reserve police officer with the city of Wixom.
Next up on, the agenda tonight is the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
All right, I got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. We have no unfinished business tonight, so we'll move on to the first item of new business, which is a recommendation to authorize the retention of Plant Moran, PLLC of Detroit, Michigan, as the city's auditors for a one-year period covering the audit of fiscal year 2020-2021 at a cost not to exceed $61,300. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Marilyn?
Good evening. This report is to request to retain Plant Moran as our auditors once again for the review of fiscal year 2021. This year reflects a total increase of $2,300 or a 3.9% increase over last year. For comparison of that, the current CPI for July 2021 shows 5.4%, so we're coming in under the CPI. Also of note, Plant Moran's increase for fiscal year 1920 audit was just below 1%, and prior to that it was at 2%. So they decreased it a little bit last year during the pandemic, and this year we're seeing a more true increase. The city's portion will be $49,336, and the remainder of $11,964 will be paid by our water sewer contract, F&B, for a total of $61,300. The budget does contain significant funding, sufficient funding for the expense out of the various accounts that pay for the audit. And this year's audit, fortunately, is anticipated to be done on a hybrid basis. So we should see the auditors back in the office this year, as we did not last year. So they'll do a little bit of in-office and out-of-office as things permit. So I respectfully request that you approve this tonight.
Any questions for Marilyn?
Just a comment, Mr. Mayor, Plant Moran has done just a fine and outstanding job ever since I've been on council, and I support it. And the increase is definitely within line with what I've seen in the private sector as well.
All right, seeing no other questions, I've got a motion and a second. Approve the recommendation to authorize the retention of Plant Moran, PLLC of Detroit, Michigan, as the city's auditors for a one-year period covering the audit of fiscal year 2020-2021 at a cost not to exceed $61,300. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business number 2 is a recommendation to approve the purchase, installation, and storage of holiday lights from Zorro's Christmas Lighting of Livonia, Michigan at a cost of $6,950 from the Downtown Development Authority Event Promotion Expense Account number 248-729-956.002. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support. Thank you. And with us tonight we have Laura Clutier, who's the Director of the Downtown Development Authority. Laura?
Good evening, everybody. Nice to meet you here again. I'm Laura Clutier, Executive Director of the Downtown Development Authority's Merced. Our Downtown Dazzle program is ongoing, and the past few years we've been outfitting the evergreen trees at the entry of downtown with Christmas lights or holiday lights, and we were able to have 12 trees lit up last year. We would like to do all 18 trees this year. Zorro's has raised their price some, just with everything that's going on in the economy. We did get a quote 2 years ago from a different company to do all 18 trees, and it was just under $9,000 2 years ago. So we felt that this price was a fair price, and we would like to complete this area and move on to another area next year. So we own the lights, they store the lights for us, and they put them up for us every year. They would be installing them if you approve this tonight in September, and we will have the lights turned on at the tree lighting ceremony in December, and they will be on for a month until right after the first of the year.
Yeah, I support this. It's kind of cool when you drive down Wixom Road and you see the at Trijicon, the lights and stuff like that, and this will just be a continuation of that. Be a great addition to our city. Any questions? Councilmember Berman?
Yes, my only question is, why wait for the tree lighting ceremony to light over there? I mean, why not turn them on around Thanksgiving time or earlier?
We can absolutely do that. We were just targeting the tree ceremony. They'll be installed in September, so we can turn them on.
I'd be in favor sooner than later, but at the same note, I understand that.
We can absolutely do that as well.
But I am in support.
Thank you.
Santa's not going to like it.
It's away from downtown. Probably it is.
Well, I guess, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to add to that. Although I respect that Councilmember Behrman's opinion, I hope you won't do it just because Councilmember Behrman asked. You will take it back to the DDA and decide when the right time is to turn on the lights.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Thank you. Input's good, but...
We'll just put a banner up, you know, Councilmember Behrman said to do this.
Blame me.
Just turn half of them on.
Okay. Every other tree?
Just the new 8 trees. Anybody else?
And Mayor, just to kind of chime in here, I want to chime in on this. This is kind of interesting what's occurring with this lighting cost, right? So our cost increases there's a slight cost increase that's involved in this contract, and that's partially because we're adding trees, but it's also partially because the existing trees grew over the last year of time.
Yeah.
And we've added lights to cover that into our expenses for that, and ergo the new trees also had a greater number of lights than they would have last year, and so on and so forth. The reason I'm bringing this up is I don't expect them to stop, and I expect them to outstrip the capabilities of this contractor eventually, which is, if you recall, the DPW had originally done this kind of work for us, but then the growth of the trees outstripped our equipment, and now we're probably going to be facing that again. So we're going to have a decision point down the line, and we'll have to think how we're going to deal with this in the future when the trees get too tall for the equipment. So, but for now, it's going to look very cool.
Very good. Yep, it will. All right, seeing no other questions, I've got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve the purchase, installation, and storage of holiday lights from Zorro's Christmas Lighting of Livonia, Michigan at a cost of $6,950 from the Downtown Development Authority Event Promotion Expense Account number 248-729-956.002. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up is the second call to the public. The rules for the call to the public are the same as the first one, except for this time you can speak whatever is on your mind. So anybody for the second call to the public? All right, I'll close the second call to the public and move on to city manager's comments.
Thank you, Mayor. For my city manager update, you'll see there's a variety of information in there, and I was very excited about the first item because I think I had 3 congratulations in there, including 2 consecutively. We've got Drew Benson, who had some delayed recognition as one of Oakland County's 2020 Elite 40 Under 40. He was attending the delayed ceremony that took place for that because of the pandemic from last year. They had the ceremony for the 2020 class as well as the 2021 class. So he attended that particular event on August 10th, the night of our last council meeting. And I just wanted to extend a formal congratulations to him in the city manager update. That's an outstanding award. I'm jealous. So well done to Drew. Congratulations on that front. And just wanted to make mention of that. School's starting soon. I'll let the other members of council will probably want to talk about that as well. And then the census item that I have in there has some information about what's happened with the city census results from 2020. There was a lot of challenges that were occurring with the 2020 census. Again, it was during a pandemic. There were a variety of things going on that made it challenging. Because of that, a lot of times you'll have a lot of in-person events and in-person interactions with people where you're trying to get them to participate in the census. And it was difficult to get that done in a normal fashion in 2020. That didn't stop city staff from working very closely with a variety of people on that front to attempt to better reach undercounted populations, because during the course of the census you'll get reports back that this census tract is sitting at 80% count, 90% count, but this census tract is only sitting at 60% or something equivalent to that. So we had information that was available to us, and we worked closely with a variety of partners like Oakland County and their staff that were involved with the census. We had interactions with the Census Bureau as well. We conducted a lot of outreach efforts with social media, banners that were around town, and advertisement in the newspaper. We had specific events that targeted those tracts that had undercount situations occurring. And apparently it must have been pretty successful, because we were just informed that the population growth in the city of Wixom was over 27% from 2010 to 2020. So we're very pleased with that. Councilmember Deputy Mayor Tom Resnick asked me to put together a report to discuss what that could potentially mean to the city in terms of positive impacts. And Drew Benson put together a memo that was addressed to me that I provided a copy to council tonight. And I'm going to defer to our Assistant City Manager, Director of Economic Development, Drew Benson, to go over that report.
Thank you, Steve. I've got to say, prior to my time at the City of Wixom, I was a census coordinator with the City of Troy, right, doing very similar work to Steve. And I've got to say, I'm impressed at the results and hearing about a lot of the programs that were undertaken here. So when it comes to what these results can mean for the city, there's a lot of things that are somewhat outside of our control, but are impacted directly by census data. The $675 billion of federal funding that is directly tied to populations, where they're apportioned and all of that. In one of the key things that Steve would have mentioned, and we would mention to anyone in relation to taking census, is that each individual can bring $1,800 per year in additional funding to their community through various programs, whether it be the National School Lunch Program, Head Start, Medicaid, and even highway planning and construction across a variety of federal programs. So that's one of the key things, that while those dollars may not funnel directly to the city or directly to the school district in different ways, those are impacts that we'll see here. On a more specific level, this does impact Act 51 road funding as well. The calculations that they do to apportion those funds out at the state level are through population and road miles. So will that be enough to fix all of the roads in Wixom? I don't know, but again, a positive trend and one of the benefits of having the kind of growth that Wixom has seen. The other key thing that most of you probably have heard throughout the census process is that populations affect your representation in various legislative bodies. It's not just the House of Representatives, where unfortunately the state of Michigan will be losing a representative going from 14 to 13. But even on the local level, right? So the county districts for county commissioners will be reapportioned, and it will be interesting to see. Our increased population means that there's a certain number of people that are represented in a given district, and by having a higher population, we have inherently a larger share of that district. So, and that applies all the way up to the state level as well. So, with the population increases that we've seen, not just in Wixom, but in Lyon Township, where I think they saw a 60% increase. Novi was 11%. We've seen massive development in a lot of people choosing to live and work in southwestern Oakland County. And I think that will go a long way as the city and our local and regional partners work together on projects like Beck Road widening. And I think that these are positive things, and the efforts that you all have undertaken over the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, this is a representation of the benefits of that. That being said, any additional questions you may have, I can try to answer, or Steve may answer. We can find answers if we don't have them.
So just a couple of things I'll add to it. The raw population number just went from 13,498 to 17,193. That's a growth of basically 3,700, 3,695. And that's, that percentage that we had, that 27+%, places us as the highest growing city in Oakland County and the state of Michigan. Novi's number actually is 20% population growth that has an impact on us as well, like with our Beck Road project right now. Our corridor with Beck Road, Novi is our principal partner with that, and we've got striking population growth in both of those communities. That's going to be to our benefit of the Beck Road project. The other thing that I'd like to just make mention of is between Wixom and Novi, we make up over 20% of the overall population gain in the entire county of Oakland. So this sector of Oakland County is growing very, very quickly and very high in number, and the city led the league in it. And I think that's a great reflection on the quality of life that's offered here in the city of Wixom, and kudos to this mayor and council, as well as many mayor and councils before you over the years that have done a great job in stewarding this community and making it the quality place to live that it is. And clearly people are voting with their feet, moving to the city of Wixom, and I think we should be proud of it.
Yeah, and thanks to the city staff. I know they really did work hard on this census this year, and it was quite a task, and I think these numbers represent your hard work. So, thank you. With that, I'll move on to council comments. Councilmember Smiley?
Thank you, Mayor Beagle. I'd like to give my condolences to friends and family of Reserve Officer Doug Fiedler. I never had the privilege of meeting Officer Fiedler. He sounds like an amazing person. God bless him. Just one quick little comment having to do with the incredible census numbers that we just got reported. I think it's just something everyone already knows, that Wixom is an awesome place to live. Congratulations, Assistant City Manager Drew Bensons, on the new title of Elite 40 Under 40. Very impressive accomplishment. And which part are you jealous of, Mr. Brown?
I have got it.
The age or the...
Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Okay. I see with the work anniversaries, we have our own city clerk, Kathy Buck, 10 years. Wow, it's hard to imagine there was ever a time that you weren't here running our stuff. I also had Chief Roberts, 29 years. Nice. Finally, we won't see anybody again here till after Labor Day and in Rosh Hashanah. So, Shana Tova. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things. One, thank you to Director Moore on the tribute to Doug Fiedler. I, too, did not meet Doug, but what just a definition of city servant sounds like for so many years, to bring positive influence and selflessness to the city. Really, the city will miss him, and I know his friends and family will miss him as well. Also wanted to congratulate Carlos and Aiden on their Eagle Scout achievements. I haven't met them personally, but Carlos, you and I shook hands at the one of the summer concert series, and right away you could tell a young man like that's just got a charisma and a polish and a friendliness about him. And I think for Carlos and Aiden both, typical of that type of person, look at the following and the people that came out tonight to support them. Really a tribute to your work and leadership and the friends that you've developed. So congratulations on all those. Also wanted to call out Deanna McGee and her staff for the summer concert series. Were fabulous. I got to introduce some of them at the last couple. Thank you, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, for pushing me up there. But not only the concerts, but wanted to comment on Deanna and her staff on the two things that one that just opened, the Pickleball Courts. had a chance to go out and look at them today. What a fabulous facility that is. It looks like, I mean, it doesn't look like a city court. It looks like a private club. It's really nice.
Was there somebody playing on them?
Nobody was playing. Well, it was 95 degrees or something today.
I've been there twice, and somebody's been on it both times.
My daughter and her boyfriend played. They said it's packed when they've been there. So, yeah, well done and great job, Tim. I know you and your DPW crew were in making sure those surfaces got done correctly. Really, really nice facility, and a tribute to the council doing that. And the last thing was the disc golf course. We were just kind of it was just a fly-by-night idea 6 months ago, and Deanna and her staff have taken it to heart, and the Discraft team has got it laid out. I saw it at Gilbert Willis today, so really looking forward to that. And I'm hearing about disc golf everywhere I go, it feels like, so I think it really could be a popular facility for us. But that's it. Thank you.
By the way, we expect installation within a couple of weeks on the holes.
Councilmember Gonchal.
Thank you. Primarily wanted to share my congratulations with both of our honorees. I did have the privilege of getting to know Carlos a little bit better, coaching him in football for a few years at Walt Lake Western, and to share what you kind of said, or I guess elaborate. Extremely hardworking person and talented, very dedicated to everything he does. So I know you have a bright future in front of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilmember Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to our Assistant City Manager, Drew, on your recognition. Congratulations to both of our Eagle Scouts. I myself am an Eagle Scout. I know what you've gone through, and I appreciate that you guys are giving back to our community. And obviously it's telling with the number of people in the audience this evening that other people appreciate you as well. To our work anniversaries, it's also, I appreciate all of our staff that's so dedicated to our community. The fact that we have so many people on this list, 29 years, 15 years, 14 years, 13 years, 10 years. Obviously, we have some really dedicated staff here, and that shows. And I appreciate every single one of you, not just the two that are in this room celebrating your anniversaries. And lastly, I'm perfectly fine if you want to blame me for turning on the Christmas lights early.
Heavy is the burden.
We're going to have like the countdown of when you flip the switch, like they do for the Christmas music.
Oh, you can have these ones over here you turn on by video, but I'm just saying those trees over there, I like.
In person this year. Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, Mayor. Also want to offer my condolences to the family of Doug Fiedler. I did have the pleasure of meeting him and was at the tribute in 2009. And as Councilman Sharp said, he was the epitome of a public servant. Congratulations, our Eagle Scouts. Again, quite an honor. It will be with you for life. I myself was one merit badge short before I turned 18, so I missed it. But again, I look for it on resumes every time I'm looking at candidate resumes for hiring. Great news on the census results. A lot of good can come out of that. One thing I wanted to clarify tonight too, the city calendar didn't show the block party date. DDA Director Clutier, what is the block party date?
September 18th.
September 18th. So
Yes.
we will have one more council meeting before then to
Yes.
announce it, but okay. So Saturday, September 18th.
September 18th, noon to 8 p.m.
Super, 2 to 8 p.m. It's a great event. But we will have one council meeting before then. And that's all I have. And I support Councilman Behrman on maybe turning him on the evening of Thanksgiving.
Let's take a vote.
Thank you to Public Safety Director Moore for that nice tribute, and condolences to the family of Doug Fiedler. I did not have a chance to meet Doug, but it sounds like he was just the epitome of a public safety officer. Congratulations, Drew, on your 40 under 40. We missed you last week. We'll got you this week, and it's a pretty nice honor to have. Congratulations to our Eagle Scouts. Like I said, this is the highlights for me is when I get to present proclamations and stuff like that to outstanding young men in our community for doing things to our city, and we appreciate that very much. And I'd like to thank and congratulate everybody for their dedication on their work anniversaries. Our own Kathy Buck, clerk, 10 years. Chief Roberts, 29 years. Thank you for your services. And yeah, school starts tomorrow, so everybody be careful. Watch on the roads. Make sure you follow the school bus law rules. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.